All right, man. Eddie Hearn was on Fight Hype, and he was saying that Boots is worried about underperforming versus Teo. So I took it as he was kind of talking about the weight, staying there too long. But in the same breath, he said he only really will stay for the champions. So it's bullshit. I mean, like I said, it's bullshit. Behind the scenes, you hear what Boots say. We don't gain anything from fighting Teo. Now all of a sudden, the weight is excused. I was about to move up, and he's just looking so fraudulent, bro. He's looking very fraudulent, bro. Like, if Norman said fight, you wouldn't be talking about the weight. If Pacquiao said fight, if Barrio said fight, you. So all of a sudden now it's like, oh, let's move up now. Like, this is the biggest name on your resume. This is the best fighter you ever fought. And like I continue to say, for people who just don't know the history of boxing, many fighters throughout history have made their name fighting smaller fighters. De La Hoya fought Floyd. It's the biggest fight. Floyd moved up for Canelo. Sugar Ray Leonard moving up to fight Hagler. Roberto fought Hagler. Tommy fought Hagler. Trinidad moved up, fought, Bernard Hopkins. I believe he moved up and fought Roy Jones. Bernard moved up, challenged Antonio Tarver. I mean, historically, you can just keep going on and on and on and on. Ricky Hatton moved up, fought Mayweather. Shane Mosley moved up, fought Oscar De La Hoya. That's the name of the game. That's how you really, assess how really great. Michael Moore, Michael Spinks, Evander Holyfield, all moved up. They all moved up. So now all of a sudden, it just looked like he is ducking Teo. Now, and the excuses don't look good because you calling out Brian Norman, but at the same vein, you saying, well, I don't want to underperform versus Teo because of the weight. Okay, if Brian Norman ducking you and you can't make the weight, ain't he like, well, you basically saying that Teo's a threat and Norman's not much of a threat. So you letting us know right then and there, you scared of Teo. You think Teo got a chance. Didn't he say not too long ago, I don't have no problem making weight. I make weight. Like, I'm telling y'all, if he fighting guys, right, that ain't hand picked for him, he not good, bro. I'm telling you. A lot of these fighters go off the script of the matchmaker, they gonna get exposed. And that's what you're seeing with Jaron Boots Ennis, because he fighting a guy that they wasn't scripted to fight. They fighting a guy that he wasn't scripted to fight. Now all of a sudden it's like, it's like, it's like, oh, you're not as good as you said you was. You're not as good as you think. You just talking. I've been telling y'all that. So I've been calling out, but he exposed himself when he was fake calling, talking about calling out Buffy. Like, he not that. They know he not that. We know he not that. Now you don't want to fight Teo because you don't want to underperform because of weight. Okay, then you shouldn't want to underperform versus anybody. Versus Norman, versus Barrios, versus Pacquiao. It should be the overwhelming thing should be is to move up and weight, unless you're trying to leverage more money out of Turkey Al-Sheikh. And if he's trying to leverage more money out of Turkey Al-Sheikh, cool. I'll play the same role. Oh, I'm barely making weight. Like, if he doing that, fine. I agree with that. Get as much. If I'm gonna stay and do this fight, I'm gonna need this and need that. I agree. Play the role, finesse the shit out of Turkey Al-Sheikh. Finesse the shit out of him. I'll blame you on that one play. If that's your game, I agree. But if that ain't your game, like I'm telling y'all, when shit come off script, that's how you know how good a fighter is. And that don't necessarily mean it has to be a name. You know, when they really take them how they come, no Diddy, no Kanye, no Harvey Weinstein, no Kevin Spacey. When they really can fight guys off script, on script, you know, that just lets you know, like, that's a real fighter. A lot of these guys are really, you know, they really scripted to be where they at. They not him, you know. They just look good. Like I always use that analogy when I talk about this, about that dog Bolt from the movie, where he was a superhero in the movie, The Dog, and he got loose outside the studio into the real world, and he found out he really didn't have superpowers. He was just an actor. Same thing with these fighters. Without these matchmakers and the protection from these promoters, guess what? They just bolt. They don't roar. They don't bite hard. They don't fly. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you see wild cards like Crawford came out of nowhere, when you see these wild cards, they come out of nowhere. They be like, yeah, I want y'all for now. They be like, no, you know, he ain't big enough for no Diddy, no Harvey Weinstein, no Kanye, no Kevin Spacey. You gotta get your numbers up. You know, you see these type of dudes they come out of nowhere and they grind it. They don't be trying to fight them, bro. And with the matchmaking game, a lot of these guys, they match make early away from these guys' weaknesses. So if I struggle with southpaws, they ain't gonna put me in there with a southpaw. But at some point in your career, if you hang around long enough, especially on the world level, you're gonna have to fight a southpaw. So the thing about matchmaking is you see where your fighter need improvement at, where he's strong at, where he weak at. Okay, he weak against southpaws, or he weak against guys with superior hand speed. So, you know, we get some sparring partners in there with them who are, let's just say, southpaws, you know, or got good, you know, let's just say southpaws, and we just keep, you know, why guys that young, you can mold them. They moldable before he get the money. What Jay-Z said, my mom was fine to the dough, hit it. And I told myself what he said, that the mold did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, when they get money, you can't tell them shit. Right now, you can mold them, you can coach them, they listening, they soaking up information like a child. So we getting there with southpaws, we fixing the issues with the southpaws. We matchmaking them against southpaws every other fight and keeping them active. And he learning how to fight southpaws. He fought them so much that he mastered it. So now what was a weakness is now a strength. Catch my drift? That's how you do it. You get them weaknesses out the way early. You build the strengths into a stronger strength. You try to build the weakness into strengths, or you at least try to, you know, patch it up, you know, or you know, something like that. And that's why a lot of these guys lose, because they've been babysitted matchmaking wise. And now, you know, you run into that southpaw and you've been avoiding them. Now you get destroyed, and it's like, you know, what can we do now? You 30-5-10, 45-25-10. It's too late. So they pretty much patching, they really patching. It's like when the freeway, they take them Oreo cookies and put them in a pothole. They're really just patching the issue up. Really, I can't even say they're patching the issue up. They're avoiding it altogether. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, T.O. ain't on the script. So now it's time to hide behind Wade. And like I said before, I just see through bullshit. If you that nigga, you going in there and destroy T.O., right? You putting hands, foot, and toes and elbows on them hoes, right? But they know something. They're not confident. And every time Turkey come with a fight, they like, no, now if it's just that they don't want to take Turkey money because they feel disingenuous, okay, then I'll give them a pass on that. Like I said, I'm willing to give passes. But he probably know if T.O. beat me, I let the boy that called niggas monkeys beat me, I could never come back to the city of brotherly love. I could never come back to the community. I could never take communion with the brothers in the, you know, and the brothers in the city of Philadelphia. They got that Quinta Brunish girl who supposed to be pro-black from South Philly. She was swirling. She was married to a Brad, pro-black, married to a Brad. And then you got Jaron Ennis, who got knocked out by Honduras racists who called his people a monkey. In the end with the hard R. Oh, ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back. Holding on. It's real hard when the races beat Ennis, and that's no lie. Man, then shit. T.O. whoop on Ennis. Boy, they better play. It looks like another love TKO. Oh no. And also, hey yo, play. What we do is wrong. 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 We still hustle till the sun come up. When the sun go down. It's a cold world. Listen. What we do is wrong. Oh man, get some PD crack coming. Flip side. It's my man. Ah. Oh my god, man. Man, that nigga get chopped up by man. Ain't no better love by Young Guns play, man. They put a funeral. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. Man, get the tombstone ready for that nigga's grave. He can never come back to the community. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video. Hit the link in the description. Follow me everywhere: X, Instagram, join the Patreon, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. Shout out to Welterweight Boxing Talk playlist and the Boxing News playlist. Peace.